What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and yeah, question for the audience. Who's gonna cameo in Obi-Wan Kenobi? That's what we're gonna discuss right now. I have 7 individuals who I think could or could not possibly show up, and then I'm gonna give my likelihood or unlikelihood rating on, yeah, this guy is probably gonna show up or might show up, and these guys, nah, probably not. But I got the idea from this article on comicbookmovie.com. Obi-Wan Kenobi star Rupert Friend shares his excitement for the series and teases lots of huge cameos. So he's talking in here about his role as the Grand Inquisitor, and he's sharing his excitement as well, talking about some huge Easter eggs that's coming, and also some cameos. So let's just read this real quick. It goes on here. It's talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi is set during a very interesting, exciting point in the Star Wars franchise timeline. And yeah, it opens up a lot of doors because at that point in time, that's where a lot of the characters, a big bulk of characters are in existence. You have all the characters from obviously the Clone Wars. You have characters from Rebels. You have characters that showed up in Rogue One. And there's other series that are going to be coming out that are also going to have some big major name characters in them. So let's go ahead and touch on what he was talking about, and that's from this particular quote right here. All right, so first let me read the first half of the quote. If it's possible to be any more excited than folks already are, I would be. I think the series is one of the most thrilling additions to the Star Wars canon, the actor exclaimed. I think Ewan McGregor is doing things with that role that is a dream for the fans of the original films. We can't obviously have Alec Guinness back, but I think Ewan was absolutely born to play that part. And then this is the part that I'm discussing, and wonderful cameos from people I can't tell you, but Easter eggs galore. Yeah, it's a thrilling ride. All right, so let's get right to it. Who do we think might cameo in Obi-Wan Kenobi? I have 7 individuals, and let's go ahead and get to those folks right now. All right, folks, here we go. Let's get started with my first possible cameo, and that'll be Qui-Gon Jinn. All right, so this was kind of a no-brainer, right? Qui-Gon is the old master of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan actually watched him die. He watched him die in the flesh, of course, in the Phantom Menace. And so, and then during that moment, right after he died, Obi-Wan gave the promise to train Anakin. He has a very close relationship with Qui-Gon Jinn. And then, of course, we know from watching, the series progress, that Qui-Gon learned the ability to kind of, project himself through a Force ghost, and, still be able to train and communicate with Obi-Wan. So I definitely expect that to be something that Obi-Wan is clinging to while he's like out here on this desert planet, kind of all alone. The one guy that's a Force ghost that he can kind of talk to and, get some information on, maybe some advice, would be Qui-Gon Jinn. Now, I haven't heard anything about Liam Neeson wanting to be back in that role, but it just makes sense. And plus, it's no need for him to be on set because he's just going to be kind of like a Force ghost, so they can just kind of project him, say, hey, all right, Liam, here. They show up at his house, they give him some robes, hey, put this on, read these lines, no problem. He doesn't have to actually be on set, walking around in the desert or on a sound stage. He doesn't have to do any of that. So I think that's an obvious one. Not only that, based on what this story is about, obviously Obi-Wan is protecting and nurturing Luke, he's trying to watching over him, and that kind of chosen one thing is in his destiny. It was put upon him in a sense by Qui-Gon, who told him to do the same for Anakin, make sure that he's taking care of him. So you could definitely see that he can commune with them. It's somebody that he can talk to, get some advice from. Hey, what would you do in this situation? I'm kind of all alone out here. So for Qui-Gon Jinn, I'm saying that that's an absolute strong possibility that, yeah, he'll be in this one. All right, next up, Saw Gerrera. Okay, so Saw Gerrera, what do we know about Saw Gerrera, right? He's a guy that I think has a lot of information that would be helpful. We know that at some point in time, Obi-Wan's going to have to jump off planet, right? He's going to have to leave Tatooine. The rumors are it's like to help save Princess Leia. Bail Organa is in this thing. So yeah, there may be something going on. They have to go and save Princess Leia. What do? Oh, they need to get some intel. They go to a guy like Saw Gerrera. At this particular point, he's still running like his little guerrilla, unit against the Empire, so, and he also can just be, you know, like I know Forrest Whitaker is going to be in Andor, right? I know he's going to be in Andor, so it would have been real easy to be like, hey, can we borrow Forrest for a real quick second? Hey, just bring him over here. He can stay dressed just like he is. Don't need to change nothing. Just bring him over here. You know, all right, Forrest, we just got a couple of lines for you to read. All right, now you can go on back to the Andor set. I'm pretty sure that would have been easy. But if they wanted to, they could also do him as some kind of a quick little holographic image. He just pops up in a little, you know, hologram thing, and he just kind of looking and saying, yeah, man, I know exactly where they at. Go over there and you'll find the guy you need to talk to, or something to that nature. You know, I think that Saw Gerrera fits within what's going on within this particular story. So yeah, I'm gonna say that Saw Gerrera is a strong likelihood as well. All right, next I'm going to bring up a character that a lot of people have been speculating would probably fit within this story, and that is Mace Windu. Okay, so what do I think about this one? All right, we know Samuel L. Jackson wants back in. He's been talking about it. He's been bringing it up every chance he gets. He wants back into this universe, so I can definitely see that. And of course, we got Inquisitors on the hunt for, you know, old Jedi or Jedi in hiding. So, you know, if Mace is still alive, which, you know, a lot of people are saying, yeah, they're gonna bring him back, yeah, he's still alive, yeah, I think that would make sense. You know, okay, Mace is back, he's in the series, and, you know, Inquisitors are looking for him, so maybe there's a point in time where, you know, Samuel L. Jackson, you know, Mace Windu and Obi-Wan kind of link up and start discussing things. Maybe that does happen, you know. A couple of reasons why I don't think it will work is, number one, this just doesn't seem like the right series to bring him back. I mean, he could fit within that Inquisitors storyline, that little subplot, but I don't think this is the right series. I think you bring him back in more of a calmer, like kind of laid back series, you know, something where he's just kind of in hiding and he's just kind of doing his thing off to the side. I don't think you bring him back in an action setting, which if he's getting chased by Inquisitors, that's definitely an action setting. And then also, obviously, he brought it up to Bryce Dallas Howard that like, hey, I want back in, bring me back in. And it's like, well, why are you bringing that up if you already did Obi-Wan, right? You know, so just based on that kind of information and everything we know about it, I'm gonna say, nah, no Mace Windu for this particular series. Hopefully, though, he does show up in another series. I've already, you know, made a video about what I want, you know, as far as a Mace Windu, and you can go ahead and check that out. I'll link that above. Okay, so next up is another character, and this one I think would probably fit in very nicely, and that's Ahsoka Tano. Okay, so Ahsoka makes sense, right? Ahsoka makes all the sense in the world. You bring her back in because Obi-Wan has a relationship with her, obviously from the Clone Wars, all right? She was running around. She was Anakin's Padawan, so her and Obi-Wan have a relationship. They've been through, you know, their battles together and everything. So having, you know, kind of this, you know, wandering kind of gypsy slash Jedi that, you know, I am no Jedi, but, you know, hey, I can come down here and talk to you real quick, say something, visit you. You know, oh, I heard you were hiding out on a desert planet watching over Anakin. And that's the other thing, is she probably would want some information. You know, what happened to Anakin? You know, what do you remember? You were there when, you know, you pretty much chopped off his arms and legs. You were there. What's going on with my master? I know that, you know, he's not right, you know, but what happened to him? Can you guys give me some information? You know, so it's kind of relevant to the plot, because remember, Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker will be featured in this. So it's kind of relevant to the plot. I can see it. However, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if it's going to work. If they do it, they gotta be right with it. They gotta really do it well, because Ahsoka is a huge character and you don't just throw her into a series for no good reason. I know they kind of did that with the Book of Boba Fett on that one episode, and I didn't like that. But I think she definitely fits better talking to Obi-Wan Kenobi and dealing with that. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Ahsoka, yeah, it's closer to a possibility than some of the others ones. But yeah, I think Ahsoka would work really, really well. All right, next. Of course, you know, you gotta put him in, right? You gotta put Palps in here, okay? Palps has to be in here for no other reason that they got Darth Vader in here, okay? And once again, you can show him in a little hologram. It could just be a quick little pop-up. Boom, there he is, Palpatine. there's no reason not to put him in here. If you got Vader, you have him for a quick moment. Hey, Vader, what's going on? Oh yeah, I'm looking for this Jedi, that Jedi. All right, good, and back to work. Whatever. Something on that level. And he's likely to converse with Palpatine because, again, of what he's trying to do and what he's trying to accomplish. And so yeah, it's a very simple, easy to do cameo. Obviously, a hologram option is still on the plate, so you can easily do that. But I don't think there's any reason not to put Palpatine in here. I think he would fit really, really well. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say Palpatine absolutely for sure will be a part of this one. Now, the next one, number 6 on my list, Yoda. That's my favorite character. If you guys don't know, Yoda is my favorite character in Star Wars, hands down, without a question. I love this little guy. Will he be in? This is one of those, it could go either way, 50-50, because him and Obi-Wan probably have been in some form of communication, just on the fringes. They're not making it overt, but at the same time, they gotta say, hey man, how's everything going on Tatooine? Is our little chosen one still doing all right? Keep me up to date on what's happening. That's what Yoda would probably be saying to Obi-Wan as things progress, right? And Yoda has such an interesting character. His insight of how everything works, as far as, Jedi and what's going on with Palpatine and what's going on with the Empire, his insight would be valuable information for someone like Obi-Wan, who's trying to make sure he's not overstepping anything. Maybe when he does have to go off planet and leave and maybe look for Leia, he could communicate with Yoda. Hey Yoda, what's going on? Is this the right move? Is this what I should be doing? Maybe that's where it goes. But I don't think that they'll do that in this case. For this reason, he has that Qui-Gon connection, right? So if he was to go and look for advice or talk to someone from an advice standpoint, I would say, yeah, it's going to be with a Force Ghost Qui-Gon, so that way you can kind of cut that communication between him and Yoda, so that everybody stays secret and nobody's getting found out. At least keep it to a minimum. So I think that from a Yoda standpoint, nah, we're not going to see that. But I'm not 100% on that. That one's kind of 50-50, closer to 50-50 than Mace Windu. I think Mace Windu is probably 10% possibility. I think Yoda's about 50-50. Could not, and we'll see what it happens. All right, and then my final possible cameo, Bo-Katan. All right, so Bo-Katan and Obi-Wan, we know that they have a relationship, again, going back, starting in the Clone Wars. Obviously Obi-Wan, if you guys don't know, kind of had a little thing for Bo-Katan's sister, right? Kind of had a little thing for her. So yeah, maybe there's some information there. They have a relationship. Maybe Bo is like, yeah, I miss my sister. I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. Something along those lines. Maybe that's something that they could introduce. And they fought side by side. So if there's somebody that Obi-Wan needs in a pinch, maybe he has a way of reaching out to her. She's a Mandalorian. She knows how to keep things on the down low. If they need to get in, get out. Hey, I got to take care of something. Can you help me out? Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. Maybe she comes, while Obi-Wan is off planet, and watching over, Luke, say, hey man, stay here, keep an eye on that kid over there across the bay. I'm gonna go up here and take care of something that I need to take care of, and then I'll be back, and then you can take off. Maybe that, I don't know. The only thing I feel is that, it's kind of unnecessary. If they did throw Bo-Katan in, it would literally be just fan servicey. We're just throwing her in to throw her in. The other ones that I have listed on here, they have a legitimate reason to be in this thing. Bo-Katan just feels not really. Other characters fit better to play a role that she would be trying to play. Except maybe if she was doing some sort of hey, I'm gonna keep an eye out on things while you're off planet, maybe something like that they could do. I don't know. But nevertheless, I do believe that Bo-Katan is a negative. She is kind of like that Yoda 50-50, but I would say it's more like a 30-70, 30% possibility that she'll show up, and a 70% not really thinking that she's gonna show up. But yeah, in any case, that's my list. That's my list of possible cameos for Obi-Wan. Who do you think might show up? Go ahead, drop down in the comments, leave me your thoughts, your suggestions. Who have I missed? You know, are there people on here that you would have said, nah, these guys, no, I got the perfect cameo for Obi-Wan, and it's this woman or this guy or this person. So go ahead, drop that down, let me know what you think, and that'll do it for me, folks. I want to thank you for watching. See you next time.